Let's be honest, nothing is more annoying than getting to the airport and having TSA take your bag aside because of something you thought was okay to bring. You spent hours packing and checking everything, only to watch your frozen salmon get thrown away or your new smart luggage get turned down. But don't worry, today we're going over the TSA's updated 2025 rules for checked luggage. These aren't just suggestions. If you ignore them, you could face fines, delays, or even miss your flight. Stick with me and you'll avoid all that trouble. Let's start with something explosive, literally. Fireworks and anything that can explode are a big no when it comes to flying. It might seem like common sense, but many travelers still try to bring firecrackers or sparklers from parties or festivals abroad. TSA is very strict about this. Anything that can catch fire or explode, including small items like poppers, is banned from both checked and carry-on bags. Even though the cargo area of a plane is pressurized, it's not safe for things that can blow up. Just saying, it's only a few sparklers won't help. The rule is simple. If it can ignite, it can't fly. Want to avoid delays or having your stuff taken away? Leave anything with a fuse at home. Now, let's talk about other things that can explode without even needing a flame. Pressurized containers, like whipped cream canisters or scuba tanks, might seem harmless, but they can be dangerous on a plane. When air pressure changes during the flight, the gas inside these containers can expand and cause them to explode. That's why items like propane tanks, CO2 cartridges, and even certain aerosol cans aren't allowed in checked luggage. If you're planning to go scuba diving or camping, it's better to rent or buy those items at your destination. It's safer and saves you hassle at the airport. Love whipped cream? Skip packing the dispenser. Just buy one when you arrive. Also, remember that things like spray paint, bear repellent, and other pressurized sprays are banned too. Even if they're important for your trip, they could be taken away for good. Dry ice is allowed, but only if you follow the rules. If you're traveling with frozen food like seafood or important medications, dry ice can help keep them cold. You're allowed to pack up to 5.5 pounds in your checked luggage, but it has to be labeled properly, packed in a ventilated container, and meet your airline's specific rules. Make sure to tell the check-in staff and have extra paperwork if you're carrying medical items. If you skip these steps, your bag could be stopped and your items could be thrown out. So whether it's fancy cheese or medicine, label it correctly and don't go over the weight limit. When it comes to tools, size really does matter. Small items like wrenches or screwdrivers are usually fine in checked bags, but larger or heavy-duty tools like chainsaws, hammers, or drills can be a problem. TSA is strict about anything that could be used as a weapon or is too heavy. Power tools must be completely empty of fuel, and sharp tools should be covered safely. Also, keep in mind that some airlines have extra rules. A quick tip: if you need your tools for work or repairs, check their size against TSA's rules, and if you're unsure, it's safer to ship them to your destination. Now, let's move on to high-tech gear. Surprisingly, some of it isn't allowed either. Smart luggage is great, until it's not. If your suitcase has built-in chargers or GPS, TSA is okay with it only if the battery can be removed. That's because lithium-ion batteries can catch fire. If the battery isn't removable, your high-tech bag becomes a safety risk and won't be allowed on the plane, checked or carry-on. So before you head to the airport, check your bag's specs. If it doesn't meet the rules, you might end up buying a new one on the spot. And if the battery is removable, take it out and bring it with you in your carry-on. If you're finding this helpful, hit that like button. It lets the algorithm know this is useful info. Got a weird packing story or a TSA horror tale? Share it in the comments. We might feature it in our next video. Fragile and valuable items like family heirlooms, glassware, or that snow globe from Paris don't belong in checked luggage. Checked bags are tossed around, stacked, and handled roughly. So unless your item is wrapped like it's in a bubble-wrap fortress, it could easily break. Things like jewelry, laptops, and cameras should always go in your carry-on. Even if they survive the handling, theft from checked bags happens more often than you'd think. The best move? keep anything breakable or expensive with you. If you have to check it, wrap it well with clothes or padding and make sure it's clearly marked as fragile. Now, if you're packing something with personal or cultural value, here's what you need to know next. Religious or cultural artifacts, like a ceremonial dagger, ritual item, or family heirloom, can cause problems at airport security. TSA agents aren't trained to recognize cultural significance, so if something looks sharp or unusual, they may see it as a threat. Even harmless items like incense, powders, or carved symbols can be misunderstood. Before you travel, research TSA and your destination country's rules. If needed, declare the item ahead of time. In some cases, it's actually safer to ship it home with insurance instead of risking it being taken away at security. Now, let's talk about something fishy, literally. You can pack fresh meat or seafood, like salmon, in your checked luggage. But should you? Probably not. Unless it's vacuum sealed, placed in an insulated container, and triple bagged, it can leak, spoil, and become a smelly biohazard. Remember, cargo holds aren't refrigerated. On top of that, many countries have strict rules about bringing in fresh meat or seafood, and some airlines have their own policies too. If you're not 100% sure it's allowed, it's better to skip the hassle and just buy local food when you land. Now, let's talk about something every drone enthusiast needs to know. You can pack your drone in checked luggage, but the lithium batteries must go in your carry-on. Lithium-ion batteries are banned from the cargo hold because they can be a fire hazard. Some airlines even require the batteries to be less than 30% charged. Here's a smart tip. Put tape over the battery terminals to prevent them from turning on by accident. And if your drone has GPS, turn it off or switch to flight mode to avoid signal issues. Not sure about the rules? Contact your airline before flying. It's much better than having your drone grounded at the airport. Alcohol in your checked bag? Yes, but with rules. You can pack alcohol as long as it's under 70% ABV. For anything between 24% and 70%, you're limited to 5 liters per person, and it must be unopened and in the original packaging. Be sure to pack bottles in leak-proof bags and cushion them well. You don't want your clothes smelling like bourbon. Also, check the rules for your destination. Some countries have strict limits or bans on bringing in alcohol, no matter what TSA allows. Medications? Don't take chances. Yes, you can put them in checked bags, but what if your luggage is delayed or lost? That's a risk you don't want to take. Always keep prescription and essential meds in your carry-on. If your medicine is in liquid form and over the TSA limit, just declare it at security. Exceptions are made for medical needs. Bring a copy of your prescription and a doctor's note, especially for international travel, since some countries require proof for certain medications. Before we wrap up, here are a few quick bonus tips travelers often forget. Lithium batteries and power banks must always go in your carry-on, not your checked luggage, as they pose a fire risk. Check the watt-hour rating, and if it's over 100 watt-hour, you may need airline approval. Vapes are another item to be cautious with. Some countries ban them entirely, and since many are considered aerosols, they can be dangerous when exposed to heat. Always read product labels carefully. If something is flammable or pressurized, it likely belongs in your carry-on, if allowed, or is best left at home altogether. In the end, smart packing isn't just about space, it's about avoiding trouble at security. TSA rules for 2025 are stricter, and even innocent items can lead to delays or missed flights. So double-check your bags before you zip them up. Which of these tips surprised you the most? Or do you have a strange item you always pack and wonder if it's allowed? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more travel tips. Safe travels, and see you next time.